all the top gurus are teaching when it comes to copywriting. I've made a point of taking every class known to man, joining every group I could possibly get involved with that I have time for, and reading every last little bit I can get my hands on. I always enjoy reading new stuff and watching new instructors. I encourage you all to do the same. You've never finished learning how to produce good copy. The game changes rapidly. So stay in touch, stay in tune, and don't think that this is something that you can spend a few weeks, like in the course of this program, and then come away with it never having to look at it again. Copy changes. What works in the world of advertising today will not work next month. You literally have got to keep yourself fresh, keep your hand in the game, and that's how you will succeed with copy. Now, the number one thing everybody will teach you is the hook. Okay? Now, the hook is simply what addresses your avatar. And let me explain what an avatar is. Your avatar is basically your demographic, the ideal person that would want to buy your product or service. Okay? You've got to do some soul searching when it comes to your product or your service, and you've got to figure out what your avatar is. You know, who are they? What is their gender? What is their age? What is their occupation? What is their social status? What is their financial status? You know, all these sort of things play into it. And later in the course, we'll get into how to drill down into your avatar, find out who they are, and identify them. But for now, understand that the hook is a statement that comes right up front in your advertising, right up front in your email, right up front in your introduction, that is going to grab them, address their wants, their needs, their desires, and their requires. Okay, that's a little added one that I throw in there. What do they require? Because needs, wants, and desires are three separate things, but their requirements are yet another thing. And again, we'll get into the details with that later on in the course. But you've got to address what they need, what they want, what they desire, and what they require right away. Because if you don't get that right up front, you've lost your audience. Now, we've all heard the statement, you know, you've got it like when writing a book, you know, you've got to catch them on the first line. You know, make sure that that first line hooks them in and makes them want to read the whole damn book. Same theory, okay? Now, a lot of people are probably sitting there right now saying, well, great, that's easy to say, but can you give us an example? Now, Nick, if you wouldn't mind, flip over to go to the Simple Video Pro page.
Oh, okay, sure.
Homepage. Now, guys, I got to warn you, this thing's a work in progress, but this actually is a really good example because there's actually no sales copy on this page yet. All there is a little bit of features, benefits, a little bit of structure being given to the page, and there's a very good reason for that because we'll get into that later. But the point is there really isn't any sales copy here yet. But take your attention to next to the video, okay? Grow your audience, attract more eyeballs. And by the way, Nick, are you able to get the yellow highlighter behind your cursor going?
Oh, let me see if I can do that. This is Windows 8, so they changed everything.
See if you can do that, and I'll just carry on while you
sit around. Forgive if anything pops over the screen. I'll move it as soon as I can.
And see, people are already asking for an example. Okay, so guys, look at the four statements: grow your audience, attract more eyeballs, convert them into buyers automatically. Okay. Now, this isn't a picture-perfect hook because it's part of a bigger scheme that's at work here, and it's just really a placeholder for now. But that's a really good idea of a basic hook. Okay. A lot of you probably already bought this product, so you can understand how well that statement works. Okay, those four core statements. Those four core statements address. They tell you what our product is. They tell you, you know, what it's going to do for you, and you know what's the benefit. You know, what are the main benefits, right? It addresses those core statements. Now, Nick, I wonder, is there a way that you can get that statement so that we don't have to stay on this home page? Is there a way that you can just copy paste it out of the document that this page is built from, and then put it onto the slide that we're talking about, so that they can see all the other points on the slide while I go through this?
Yeah, I can do that. I can't copy it from here because right now no, I can. This is that's nice email.
If you don't mind, this slide is going to get you know, guys, this slide's going to get a little messy here in a minute, but you're just going to have to put up with it because I'm doing this right off the cuff here. This was not scripted, so, you know, bear with us a moment, but you'll get the idea here in just a moment.
All right, let me do that right now.
Now, let me just tell you something, guys. This part of this training program is worth a lot to you, and I mean a lot. Let me give you an example, and I think Joey could even weigh in on this temporarily, should he so choose. But to get a copywriter to produce the copy for a web page alone, just this one page, you're talking a minimum of $1,000 and probably closer to 3 to 5 for somebody who's not at the top of the heap. And I know people, literally, I know people that make a living charging 50 to 100 grand to go through a whole website and do the copy for the whole site. Okay. So the training that you're going to get over the next several weeks is worth its weight in gold. You will not get this kind of training for absolutely nothing anywhere. And this is stuff that you'll be able to see literally transform your own business as long as you pay close attention, take notes, and study. You know, go out there, do your own research, okay? Now, big difference between doing copy for a website, copy for an email, copy for a business card. It's all different. But all you got to do is put yourself in the mind of the person who is being presented this copy. And then now, Nick, somehow if we can get that overlaid onto the slide with all the pillars.
With all the pillars? Oh my gosh!
Is there a way to shrink it down and then?
I can try. Because that's a.
Sorry for the delay, guys, but actually, I didn't think about having examples on hand but people are asking, so we're gonna give you what you need.
Yeah, we're not afraid to be flexible and switch stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, but again, just studying the statement itself. Okay, I can start to go through it piece by piece here. Okay. First of all, obviously, there's a multiple statement hook going on there. I mean, this is basically hooking you in if you need to grow your audience, if you need more eyeballs on your business, if you need to convert your audience into buyers and do it all automatically. Wham! You know, you get it right then and there. You might be a little stuck on one of those statements. You might not understand how it fits in your business, but you're getting a pretty good idea. Would everybody agree that those 4 statements really kind of help to open your eyes as to what this product, Simple Video Pro, would do for you? Does everybody get it? Let's put a yes in the chat box if you get it. If you don't get it, please put a no. I don't get it. Now, do we got any no's yet? I don't see any no's yet.
Okay.
Great example. Good stuff. Got it.
Yeah, Roy says, this is good stuff. Yes.
Greg says, honestly, I never even read it. There's a no. There's a no. And I know that's you, Mike. I know you're kidding me. You got to be kidding me, buddy.
Yeah. That's always in here.
There is a few no's, though, but predominantly yes. So that's a win. That's a win right there. Now, let me ask you this. Out of all the people that said yes, how many of you already bought Simple Video Pro? Put a yes in the box now. Yes, I did, or I did. Yep, got it. Bunch of them coming in now.
Jenny, Kathy, Gail, Ed, Heather, Constance, Deb.
Overwhelming yeses. So, funny thing is, the copy worked, but it's not even on the page yet. That isn't the copy that will make this page really work. When you guys see what we're done with this page, if you haven't bought it, you'll be buying it then. Let's put it to you that way. Because the copy that's in the works is simply the supporting stuff that goes around the scenes and behind the scenes for the rest of us. So we can kind of move right along off of that. Now, going back, are you going to just bring them up one at a time, or are you going to bring up the points all at once?
Well, I was trying to get it to bring them up all at once. It was the one thing that I forgot to do before we started here. So,
okay. Well, I'll just start with the pain points. Okay, everybody. Most people know what a pain point is. A pain point typically is something that you don't want to deal with, something that is painful for you to put up with, struggle with, endure in order to get, your objective met. Okay. Most people somehow believe, and the school of thought is still stuck in the 70s, in that you need to scare people. You need to frighten them with fear and pain and all these things to get them to buy your product. Let me tell you something, that has changed. And it has changed very quickly. In the last 10 years, it's completely done a 180. Okay? You need to actually do, and by the way, Ryan, we will be doing some of the look at the software a little bit later. But anyways, you do need to actually turn it around so that you're presenting the pain points from a positive perspective. Okay? In this case, grow your audience. Well, don't have a big enough audience? Grow it. See? So you're dealing with the pain point in a reverse kind of psychology method. Attracting more eyeballs, same thing. You know, not enough people know who you are? There you go. Right? I see you probably get the point now. I don't need to go through all four, but that's the idea, right? You're not selling enough product, convert them into buyers. You're doing all this the hard way, automate it. Okay? So that kind of, you know, just on a nutshell, gives you the idea of how the positive pain point presents a more attractive proposition to the potential client, the viewer, what have you, okay? Very, very, and Brian, thank you. Yes, Waddle said decades ago to keep it positive. Absolutely, you know, and proven itself till today. So, moving right along. Speaking to the benefits of the product or the service, okay, rather than showing the features, okay, and we can't go back, we're not going to go back to the Simple Video Pro web page every time on this, but basically if you were to look at that page, and you can all pull it up on a separate tab, but if you were to look at that page, you would see that we don't go into the features immediately. We speak to the benefits of the features. This is a very common theory. I don't think I need to today go into much detail about it, because basically it's well understood and well agreed in the industry that, yeah, features-driven sales pages just don't convert. Okay? Everybody's got a list of features a mile long, as do we, probably one of the longest in the industry that we're in, and it bores people, right? It literally is 4 feet long, and nobody ever scrolls to the bottom of it. So speak to the benefits. Features, worry about them last. Go ahead.
I'm a programmer, so I make that mistake all the time. You know, I always want to list all the features. Oh, this is the cool stuff, because I know what it can do for somebody, but they don't know what it can do for them, right? They don't know, for example, if you just say, we're going to create a 10-second video showing people how good your service is.
Right.
So what? What's it going to do for them? Oh, we're going to create a video for you that is going to generate leads. It's going to generate phone calls. People can call you directly. It's going to fill your email box with requests. Those are benefits.
Yeah, people don't like to hear what they're getting until they've convinced themselves that what they're going to benefit from getting it is something that appeals to them. You've got to appeal to their senses first. Bring up the next point. This is one everybody's seen before. Keep it simple, stupid. Absolutely applies to copy. We've all seen the long-form sales letters, and they do a great job of convincing you by the time you finally do get to the bottom of it. If you haven't fallen asleep already, usually you're thinking, oh, the heck with it, I'll just buy it. And long-form sales copy still works to this day because there's still a certain amount of the population that likes to read it. But at the end of the day, if you present your case properly and quickly, you can convert them even quicker. Okay, now what's better? You want to convert them slow, you want to convert them fast. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen it happen both ways, and I've never been happy with slow conversions. I want it happening now. So, you know, you got to keep the copy fast, easy to digest. You got to keep it down at a grade 5 reading level because people can then digest it much quicker. Really go low on the frequency of the $100 words, okay? Keep your words down to 10 characters or less if you can. Just make it the experience as quick and easy as possible, okay? Now the next point. You've got to address why the viewer is here. Why are they there looking at your copy, okay? That has got to be immediately apparent in their mind, okay? And again, back to the grow your audience, you know, convert them automatically. You've got to make sure that that copy touches on all of those things, or that it covers as many of these points as absolutely possible. Okay? You don't have to quite hit 10 out of 10 points, but if you can, you will find that stuff converts much better. Okay? And at least my experience has been, it'll take me 3 hours to write a piece of copy, say a page long, right? Then it'll take me another day to tweak it, make sure it covers as many points as possible. And then I'll get down, I'll have like 2 days left before I gotta launch this thing. And I get down, it'll take me 12 hours to tweak the last 2 points in. And I'll split test the one that was before the final tweaks and the one that's after, and easily achieve 11% higher conversions just from making sure that all of the points are covered. Because people understand these points, right? And they expect to be rewarded with information at a high rate of speed, easy to understand, easy to digest, and they want their questions answered, and that's what it comes down to. So that's what we're doing with all of this process, all right? Now, next point. Now, this is where it gets very, very tricky, okay? But very effective, okay? You've got to speak to their subconscious senses and to the 5 upfront senses. Upfront meaning, sight, smell, taste, hearing, and all the 5 senses. And people say, well, how do I do that? All right. Well, let me give you an example. All right. I once had a squeeze page. I think you all know what that is. It's an email opt-in page, right, where you say, here, give me your email, and I'm going to make your life wonderful, right? I once had a squeeze page that, I'd worked on for, this is years ago, but I worked on for months trying to get this thing to convert, right? And I had everything from pictures of beaches to scantily clad, bikini-clad women on a beach. I had all kinds of stuff going on, right? But the one thing that finally got it converted, and when it did convert, it was an explosion. And by the way, feel free to use, all of these tactics. But the one thing that finally got it converting was when I started speaking to the senses. And let me give you an example. Basically, the copy on the page was simple. I had a nice picture of a man and a woman sitting on beach chairs looking out over the ocean. Okay? Obvious, serene situation, relaxing holiday situation. They're hand in hand, looking out over the water. And we've all seen this tactic, right? Well, that thing wouldn't convert more than about 2% of the blind traffic we sent to it. Okay? No matter what I did, it just wouldn't work. Right? Until the day I started writing copy like this. Imagine sitting on a serene, quiet beach. The scent of a steak and shrimp on the barbie wafting through the air. You see where I'm going with this? Right? The sound of the laughing children playing on the beach while you and your beautiful wife cook the most lavish steak and seafood dinner you've had in years. Okay, you see what's going on? I don't think I need to explain it too much. Now, it sounds really, really corny, right? And the first one that I wrote, I'll admit, didn't blow me away, right? But it did immediately improve conversions. Only about 0.5%, but it was consistent, right? So what I did was I kept playing with it and tweaking with it and trying to make it sound more realistic, like something that somebody would actually aspire to doing on a beach, and whether or not, they would actually believe, whether it was believable, right? Because, it sounds a little corny when you just pull this stuff off the top of your head, right? But when you think about it, and you sit down and you think about, when was the last time I was on a beach? And what would I want to do? What would I want to hear? What would I want to smell? What would I want to see, right? When you do that, you are able to then speak to the hardwired mentality of the human being. The human being understands the senses, and each one of us is in control of our own sensory pathways. We don't conform, as much as we think, that the psychologists think we do. We don't conform to all the schools of thought that each and every one of us has. We're all little individuals, and we all have our own ideas. But when you can put together your copy so that it speaks to the hardwired basic frequency that all of us enjoy and understand, then your copy will appeal to more people globally. Now, does everybody understand that, or do I need to go into more detail? Let's see some, if you understand it, if you're getting it, if it makes sense, please put some yeses in the chat box.
Lots of yeses.
I'm looking for no's.
Yeah.
Honesty, guys. I want to see if there's a no. Please put it in there. Yes, I'm hungry. Yes. Sorry, Clarence.
Got one no.
More detail. Well, we can't get it right. Okay, there, Doris has got some no's. All right. So we had one no.
Sue says this is awesome.
Turn the stick
I think
over,
that's a
it's
yes.
done.
So I've seen 2 no's. 3 now.
There's 3. Yeah.
Are we?
So forgive us, guys. We will not get deep into this today, but I will give you just a little more. Okay. Understand that words on a page, words on a screen, are something that until the internet got as big as it is, okay, you only saw words on a page, you know, carved in a cave wall. I mean, there's only been so many ways to spread information on this planet until the internet came along. And mankind has slowly but surely over the years produced more and more ways to disseminate information, right? But the one way that we're all used to is words written, the written word, you know, on paper, you know, on all of the non-electronic media, okay? Prior to electronic media, you know, we had things like, billboards, we had magazines, we had business cards, we had flyers, all that kind of stuff. We have been inundated with written word. Then came imagery, video, internet, all of these things to spread the information, right? But throughout history, spoken word, written word, we've been inundated with it. And frankly, we're sick of it. There's people, I don't know about your kids, but like my kids don't want to read a damn thing. I mean, if they don't get it dished up in electronic video or format or some kind, they don't want to read a damn thing, right? But the bottom line is that we are inundated with the word, okay? The written word, the spoken word. So you've got to find ways to make your words alluring, attractive, and retain the viewer, okay? And authors, popular authors, you know, they've mastered that art. Anybody in the room reads books. You've got your favorite authors. It doesn't matter what they write. It can be complete trollop, and you'll go and you'll buy it and read it because you enjoy their style, right? The fact of the matter is that somebody that takes the time to make the writing enjoyable will always get a higher percentage of the reading audience, and therefore, when you speak to the masses by using the sensory deception, some people call it perception, I call it deception, but when you speak to the senses, you actually unlock and remove the resistance that a lot of people have. Is that you, Nick, typing?
I'm sorry.
All right. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on this census thing because we will be covering a lot more of it. You will notice later on in the course and days, weeks to come, that when we build a video, we're always trying to use copy and imagery that speaks to those senses. And Joey, by the way, who I was going to ask if he had a comment on this subject, Joey's a master at it. I got to tell you guys. What was it? The Alex Jeffries video. One of the Alex Jeffries videos was a work that Joey built. And that video, to this day, still catches my attention to the point where I will watch the whole damn thing from the start to the end. I think it's like 8 minutes long. They say the average person stops watching video after, what is it, Joey, 30 seconds or 45 seconds?
Hey man, so yeah, I mean normally you have different windows with viewing a video. You have your first 7 to 11 second video. Sorry, your 7 to 11 second window where you got time to basically grab someone's attention. Then when you get through that phase, you have a 30-second phase where you got to keep their attention. And then it's a 3-minute phase where you got to keep their attention. So basically, human attention span is always being tested when you're watching any kind of medium, whether it's listening to the radio, watching TV. You're basically always having to fight for attention. And there are ways you can do things with your video to kind of keep them stuck to the screen.
Right. And as I was saying, this one video that Joey put together, I mean, it's a highly emotionally evocative piece that draws you into the subject matter's world very quickly. It kind of holds you there in anticipation of every next little swing of the story. And we'll be showing pieces of that video later on in the course, not today, but it's actually on our website. If you want to go grab the link to it, Nick, if you've got a moment, and put it in the chat box. Lots of our people have seen it, but many have not. But the key point is this: when we put that video on our website, and I'll be honest with you guys, it was part of a promotion for Alex Jeffries. But when we put that thing on, okay, we started to notice that our bounce rate on that particular page was lower than any other page on our website. Hard to believe for an 8-minute long promotional video, right? Absolutely impressive results. Now, I don't know, maybe Joey could speak to this, but I don't know how the video did overall. I don't know how the campaign did overall. Maybe, Joey, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, Alex's original page that they had up was converting around about 4%. And after we put the video down, we were seeing the first increase we saw was like an instant, like up to 20% basically on like straight conversions, like so from 4% to 20%. And we were bringing it up to like 35 to 40% at that stage as well, depending on the traffic source. I mean, it changes, right? But I should say that also he uses the video in other places as well, like seminars. So whenever Alex speaks on stage, they use this video as a primer to get people to understand who Alex is, because essentially, you know, it sets people up for Alex to take five-figure kind of, you know, payments. You know, he's done like $10,000 deals, $20,000 deals, bringing people in by using that video as a primer for leads. And it's that kind of video. Like, it really helps to position him as the authority and the person that you should be working with. And that's what we were trying to do with the video. We were trying to get people comfortable enough with that video that they'd be able to spend thousands of dollars on Alex's services. So, yeah, that's it, man. Like, it was a very powerful tool. We shot it a long time ago, and he still uses it pretty much in every aspect of what he does because it is that good.
Yeah, and Mike's in the box here saying that he just won a video contest using that same storyline. It's a video testimonial that sucks them in, gives them the testimonial, using the sub-senses, and has a funny ending. 3 minutes long, but everyone who started it finished it. 92% of the viewers watched the whole video. That's pretty good for a 3-minute video. 92%, that's pretty good. And Mike's not a professional videographer. I think Mike's an accountant by trade. He's more of an internet marketer than anything nowadays. He's getting good at what he does. But anyways, so the idea, guys, is that's what this course is all about, okay? We're here to bring you guys not just these tools, okay? Yeah, the tools, you're going to need them. Trust me, you're going to need them. If you don't have them, you're going to need them. If you don't have them, you can work without them, but chances are the people that we're working with them will do a much better job. But the tools are only one thing, okay? It's the instruction, okay? The level of instruction, the competency and the authority of the people that we're bringing in for the guest speakers. We're getting lots of positive comments since the beginning of this webinar about Joey. A lot of people already know who he is. A lot of you don't. And by the way, it's for, I think it was Susan. His last name's Soto, X-O-T-O, okay? If one of our guys, Matt or Hassan or anybody close to the chat box could put Joey's last name in and address Susan and just put it to the whole group so everybody's got the name. There is going to be a number of guest speakers over the next several weeks. If you guys can't make it to every single one of these, don't worry. They will be recorded. Make sure you get your hands on these things and try, if you miss the live event, try and watch the recording before the next live event. Try and stay up to date and current. Now, listen, not everybody here is going to need every single bit of information we give you. I guarantee you that. Not everybody here will learn. Everything that you learn was not going to be brand new to everybody. Let's put it to you that way. I guarantee it, because there's a lot of really smart people here. I recognize a lot of names already. Okay, guys that I've known in this business for some time. Okay, we're not dealing with a room full of newbies, but there are a bunch of newbies in the room, and we are going to have to take things at a little bit of a slower pace to make sure everybody has a chance to fully digest this stuff. Because number one, it's going to be fast. Okay, we're going to talk fast. We're going to deliver fast because we've got a lot of content to get through. And we only got a few weeks to do it in, okay? Even if we extend this thing, double it, it's going to be an immense amount of content. And I'm telling you what, it ain't going to cost you a dime for our time, so take advantage of it, all right? Nick, if you could get to the, yeah, totally. If you could get to the next one,
time on the... Just real quick, I've been watching the comments go by. I've been answering a couple. But I just wanted to mention that there's some people in here confused as to why we're talking about copywriting, and I just wanted to add that this is material, this is information and knowledge that you can use in every aspect of your business, including, now think about this, we're here to learn how to use a video making tool and other tools together, right? If we just taught you the technicality of how to produce a video, it would be doing you a disservice, because when you go out there to try to sell these videos, you're not going to have the tools or the knowledge base, at least many of you, some of you do, many of you won't have the tools or the knowledge base on how to get that sale, how to structure the video that you make for your client so that that video that you made for your client is successful and drives leads to that client, which then will lead to referrals, etc., etc. So to get dressed for success, you need to have all of the weapons in your arsenal. If you're missing some, then you're limping. Okay, so I just want to say that. Let's go on to the next.
Sure. Very important that your copy absolutely, unequivocally answer or asks questions, okay, that speak to the viewer, okay? You need to ask these questions both with and without actually posing them as a question, okay? And you have to actually craft your questions in a format that answers the question within the point, the context of the question itself. In other words, it answers itself, okay? So that the avatar, the viewer, the target, is not left trying to answer the question for you, for themselves, or for anybody. They get the answer. And the next point here is that you also need to make sure that your questions result in the answers that actually involve the product or the service that you guys are trying to sell. Okay, Nick, next line. You've got to make sure that these questions, okay, make the person who is being subjected to the question arrive at the resulting answer that has them thinking, well, I need this product, right? Bottom line. Now there are people. We have many people, in the room that they got vmfx, but they didn't buy it to make videos to sell to people. This applies to you guys too, okay? All of this applies to every online business, every business on the planet. Okay, that's why we're bringing this here to you guys. It's very important to understand, because it doesn't matter if you're selling a product, selling a service, providing information, trying to start up a group, trying to start up some kind of an organization, some non-profit. It doesn't matter. Your copy has got to convert, or you're going to spend the rest of your life trying to get your audience developed for whatever your cause, your purpose, your product, your service is. Okay? So absolutely important that you learn how to produce good copy. So now the next point, and we're getting close to the end of this list, guys. I do apologize. This is a bit verbose, but again, this is just skimming the surface. Okay? I'm not going to get into the heavy detail today. We just want to give you a real good emphasis on how powerful and how important copy is, whether it's video, whether it's print, it doesn't matter. Okay? But you've got to burn your point, okay, your product, your service, the point you're trying to make, into the mind of the viewer. You've got to burn it into their mind so then, A, they never forget it. B, when they need to remember it, they remember it, and they have some kind of intelligent information that has been gathered on your message, your point, your product, your service, so that they can go and research you and find you. But you've got to use imagery and you've got to use video to do that. And this speaks to that problem that I spoke to earlier with regards to we've been inundated by words and text, throughout history. So using imagery and video, I don't think I need to go into detail there. I think we all understand the statistics are overwhelming. Video makes copy convert, okay, as long as it's relevant video or speaking to the senses. Okay. Now moving along to the next one. Now, getting close to the end here, obviously, if you've cultured, and next point here, Nick, if you've done all these things, you're obviously leading up to some sort of an offer. Okay, you've got to be able to create this offer in such a way, Nick, that the offer is irresistible. Okay, you've got to package it up.
It should be there.
Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, no, it's there.
Okay, well you've got to make the offer irresistible. You got to package it up, and you got to dress it up and pretty it up so that everything to do with the offer, from the price points down to how it looks, the packaging, the benefits, all of the above. Okay, and there's a lot of people not seeing it. Okay, here it is. Here it is, guys. You should see it now. But basically, you've got to make that offer and everything to do with the offer absolutely irresistible. Now, just a quick overview on this, right? You've all seen how they take you through a sales page and you get down near that buy button and they start doing little tricks like, you know, we're going to throw in this thing here, it's worth $900, then we're going to throw in this thing with it too, and if you buy this now soon in the next 10 minutes, you're going to get this thing that's worth $500 extra, and yada, yada, yada. And not only that, wait, that's not enough. And what they're doing there is they're trying to make the offer seem irresistible so that you make a conscious decision that the money that you're about to lose in exchange for the gain of the purchase, the product, the service, that the money that you're going to exchange is worthless compared to the benefit that you will get from the product. That is the art of creating an irresistible offer. Now, I don't think there's anybody in this room, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but use the chat box and let me know. Is there anybody in the room that has never seen, well, put it this way, never been victimized by an irresistible offer? Because if there is, I'd be surprised. It's used in everything, from television to the landlord that collects your rent. Right? You are being victimized by it all day long. Just turn on the media, open up a newspaper, grab a magazine, there it is, bam.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in here saying that they've definitely...
George, I'm a serial victim to excellent copy. Yeah, I am too, George, believe it or not. I'm a copywriter, and I fall for this stuff all the time. I like good copy. I'll buy anything if it's got good copy. I got the money. Believe me. Anyways, I'm losing my voice here, guys. I'm going to have to take a break here shortly, but we're almost to the end of this particular slide. Now, with regards to the irresistible offer, the undeniable value. Okay, I think I've covered that well enough. Removing the risk. That's as simple as putting a 30-day money-back guarantee on it. People need to know there's no risk. Okay, let's not get into that. That's a 3-hour subject. It doesn't even need to be touched on. I think we're all adults here. We all understand it. But the social proof. This is a subject a lot of people don't understand. Many of you, I see a bunch of you here that are social media marketing experts. I don't need to go into it for you, but for the newbies, just for the benefit of them, I'm going to give it a couple minutes, okay? Basically, what it boils down to is people will always do what other people are doing. That's the bottom line. If they see tons of other people doing it, they will do it too. If they see a few people, not so much. They're not going to run out and throw their credit card at you just because they saw one other guy do it. But if they see thousands and thousands of people doing what you tell them to do, guess what? You got about a 5% stronger chance of them throwing their credit card at you. Okay? So using social proof. And social proof, by the way, a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about social proof. Social proof's been around, the phenomenon has been around long before the internet. Okay? This has nothing to do with social media as we think of it today. Okay? Many people have studied social proof since well before the internet existed. Okay? Even before the Russians had internet. I mean, long before that. Okay? But basically, it's a well-studied thing, and it's proven that if people do something en masse, other people will follow along whether they agree with it or not. I think it was Caldini that did the study where they went door to door in a neighborhood, and they asked people, would you donate money? We have a cause. Would you donate money? And the people said no. And then they went back to the same neighborhood and said, look, your neighbor just gave us some money, and the guy down the street, and everybody's rallying and giving us money. And guess what? Money came forth just by telling people that. Okay. There was another study. I forget who did this one, but they basically took a bunch of people, put them in a dark room, and put a bright light, a point of bright light on the wall in front of everybody, and due to reticular imperfections of the human eye, the point of light appeared to be moving on the wall, and so they asked people, is the light moving, and how is it moving, or something along those lines. I'll pick up that later at a later date. But anyways, the point was, once one person acknowledged seeing the light move, the rest of the room agreed. Okay? And these kind of things have been proven throughout time. So social proof, all right, using social media to your benefit, okay, is very effective. Now, it's not as effective as it used to be when the internet, first got to be proliferated by social media sites like, Facebook, etc. It is losing a little bit of steam, but still, by and large, it dominates the landscape. Okay, so not a whole lot of reason to carry on talking about that. But bottom line is, those three things are very important in creating your irresistible offer. There's a lot more to creating an irresistible offer, and by the way, guys, there's a lot more to creating good copy than just what is on this slide and what is on this presentation today. But these are the things that I focus on and that work very well for me and work very well for just about everybody I know in the business, and I know a lot of the people in this business. Bottom line is, it works. Okay, so your pitch, okay, which is basically the last thing on this list. Your pitch must involve all of the above, or as much of it as you can possibly work into it. And now, if you're a newbie, you're not going to be able to squish all this stuff in effectively right away. But it's not as hard as it looks. All you have to do is don't be in a rush, take your time, and like Nick always says to me, we're eating an elephant, let's take it one bite at a time. Just get good at one piece at a time and study copywriting from many other sources. Don't just listen to everything I say like it's the written gospel. Go out, trust but verify. Go out and do your own research. Look at copy that you know is converting. Okay? Look at products that are selling off the shelves, flying off the shelves. Look at the copy and try and figure out what it is about that copy that's speaking to the senses and to the hardwired mentality of the human being that makes them want to buy it. And guys, sometimes the product is flying off the shelf because it's a good product. It has nothing to do with copy. Okay, so you've got to be able to see that. Okay, I experienced that. I can't take all the credit for what's going on with Super Video Pro right now. I know that I built all the mantras at the cores of the copy that's going into this page, but the product is a solid product, so I can't take all the credit. So you have to examine things from that perspective as well. Okay. Now, this pretty much, like if you look at this one slide, okay, if you were to just write down each one of these lines and then review this webinar at a later date and then do a little research on each one of these areas of copywriting and study it like a school course, and I know there's a lot of people in the room didn't want to go to school, but hey, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're here for. Like Nick has said, this is not a pitch fest. We're not selling today. But the bottom line is that if you were to take time and study each one of these things as a newbie, 1 year from now, you would be given a lot of the top-line marketing gurus a run for their money. Because I know this speaking from experience. All you've got to do is take the time and practice. Okay? And other than that, make sure you come to these events, but at the same time, do your own homework, okay? And make sure that when we give you this kind of stuff, that you take the time to research it, get the background going on it. Don't be afraid to come in here and slap me silly if I presented something not quite perfectly correct, because believe you me, nobody's perfect in this business, right? And if you find something that works better, or if you test something that works better, man, I'm your biggest audience. Hunt me down and tell me what you found out, because nothing I enjoy better than good copy. Okay. So listen, my voice is about to cut out here. So Nick, if you want to jump in and pick up.
Absolutely. Been watching the chat here, getting a few people asking about the lead finder. So I went ahead and while we were talking, I inserted, as I've been doing, a slide from yesterday's webinar. Where is it? There it is. If you don't have the lead finder yet and you need to get it, we ask Peter to keep the offer open. The main offer is closed. If you don't have vmfx, VideoMaker FX, then you won't be able to get it. But if you have it and you want to get the lead finder, please, there's the link. I'll put it in the chat box real quick and then we'll continue.
Oh, and by the way, I don't remember the name. I think it was Nancy. And Nancy, please forgive me if you're still here. Somebody earlier today said something about, they got the product. It was this product here, Lead Finder, and they've been hammering out the emails and not getting any response whatsoever. Whoever that was, if you could just stick your hand in the air, I promise I won't embarrass you. I just want to know who it was, because I'm sorry, but there's like literally 3,000 lines of comments have gone by since you said that. But the one thing that we want to make sure, and it's kind of funny that you made your comment, I think it was Nancy, but anyways, is because the one thing we want to make perfectly clear, man, it doesn't matter what your tools are, okay? I mean, I can recommend the worst tools, the best tools, the middle tools, it doesn't matter, right? But if you take those tools and think they're going to build your business all by yourself, you're in for a rude awakening, okay? But if you take those tools and you apply the knowledge that it takes to make you sell a product without a tool, well, guess what's going to happen when you finally figure out how to get that tool working, okay? And this is just the core message I want you all to take away from this today, is not to rely on any one tool. Okay? Tools are great. They do a great job. And, you know, as you all are probably figuring out, Nick and Peter have created just some absolutely awesome tools. And Joey, by the way, some awesome instructional material. Just really compelling tools, compelling people. Okay, I couldn't ask for a, you know, more rounded tool set, let's call it. I'm sorry, Joey, if that makes you look like a tool, but that's not what I'm trying to do. You get the point, though, guys. I couldn't ask for a more rounded toolbox to be working with these guys. You guys could take a page, right, from the book that is being put in front of you, and use it to learn to how to improve how you approach your business. There's a lot of experience in front of you right now, and a lot more to come. Okay, a lot that has not even been introduced to you yet. Okay, and yeah, we sell these tools. Yeah, we sell these courses, and yeah, we're going to be pitching you 3 months from now about some new tool we're coming out with, or 6 months from now about some school program that we're selling. Yeah, but the bottom line is, this ain't costing you nothing today, nothing for the next several weeks, and I guarantee you, if you show up and digest and, you know, do your homework, you will not regret 1 minute of it. We've made the pledge to make sure that that is the lasting impression that we leave. And Nancy, or whoever that was, forgive me, I still can't see who it was, but whoever that was, if you're struggling trying to get your email program going, I know I used the word spam. I didn't want to offend you. I know you thought that you got the lead finder and it was just going to be able to send out a script or an email to everybody. But whatever the case is, take what you're learning here today and in the next several weeks and apply it in your business, and I guarantee you see a turnaround. Okay? We can't lose. But anyways, I really am losing my voice now. So, Nick, take over, buddy.
Absolutely, and well, I can't do this right now, but take a look. There's someone that needs to be dealt with a little bit up higher in the chat box. You see someone named Tom seems to have posted something that we need to address. Otherwise, the inmates will run the asylum. So far, that's the only one. I love what's going on here. I love seeing all the positive content. You guys, it's just scrolling by too fast. You guys are rocking, and I see 90% of you are totally getting it when Ayn was talking about speaking to the senses, and it's just awesome. And I get a lot of people saying, loving it, this is great material, and thank you, awesome, really appreciate it. Now, we're going to take a little step back out of the copywriting side of it and address some things that that people have been asking about VideoMaker FX. So we're going to go into a little bit of VideoMaker FX training as far as how to get over some of the limitations, because, again, it's not a video editing software, okay? And for that, we are going to be talking with Joey Soto. I don't know why all of these slides decided to get animation, but they did. Anyways, Joey, you there?
I'm here, man.
Excellent. So we were talking a little bit offline before the presentation here about some things that you've heard through the grapevine and some things that people are having trouble with, particularly in the area of syncing audio. So just want to let you talk on that a little bit, and then I'll bring up the screens as you ask me to, if you want me to bring up VideoMaker FX and other apps.
Sure, man. Yeah, I mean, if you bring up VideoMaker, that'd be cool to start out, I think. Just to give everyone like a quick rundown of what I'm going to be talking about here is, I'm not going to say a lot. Like, I'm going to try and help out with some of the issues that people seem to be having. I'm in a couple of different Facebook groups where people are asking questions and stuff like that as well. And one of the biggest things that I've seen, and actually one of the things that I saw personally, was a limitation that I was going to have in creating videos. Now, the way I create videos, I basically systemize everything. Okay? It's important to systemize things when you create a video. So once you've got a system in place, you pretty much just replicate it every time you want to make a video, and you'll get faster and faster every time you do this, right? But for me, like, the very first thing that I want to do when I create videos, I want to create a script, right? I need to plan out my script, know exactly what I'm going to say, make sure that that's going to be punchy, persuasive, and it's going to convert, all right? And I'm not going to go into it now because I think Ian's done a good job talking about it, but the script, like, is essentially your copy, right? And it is the thing that's going to help you sell with whatever it is you're selling in that video. It's going to help you sell. So you want to really start out with the script first before you even create anything in vmfx. You want to start out with the script and then go and record the script. So the reason I say to record the script first is because if you try and create the script and try to sync it with VideoMaker, what's going to end up happening is your delivery is going to be affected. So, you know, like Nick's got like this presentation up right now, and if I was going to be delivering over this, I would have to basically time my voice with what's happening in the video. So with every slide, look at the first one, it's 5.8 seconds, okay? So that means that I need to time myself and make sure that in 5.8 seconds, I need to go and deliver that first opening section saying, hi there, I want to tell you something, right? Now, obviously, I can fit that in 5.8 seconds, and that's fine. But what if I want to say more stuff? Now, one of the mistakes people are making is they're kind of writing too much stuff on the side. Like, you don't need to write all that information.
Like this one. I wrote this before Joey. I'm not a script writer and I'm not a copywriter. That's Ain and Joey. So that's my disclaimer right there. Okay. So what Joey's actually going to probably point out some mistakes I'm making here.
Yeah, I mean, this one's cool. Like, that is like pretty much the most amount of text I would be using. Like, you don't want to overflow your screen with text, okay? But you know what? I'm going to get into that in a moment. Like, let's get through this first thing first, right? With the voice and the syncing and all that kind of thing. So I think that's the biggest thing. So what I'm saying is, I would have to basically time my voice with the video if I was going to do my voiceover after. So what you do is go ahead and write your script out and do your voiceover first. Then what it's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to deliver your message in a comfortable way without you feeling strained in a way to kind of make sure that you're in time with the video. You don't have to think about the video. You can just deliver the script and make sure it's coming out clean and that you're delivering it the best you can. Then what you're going to end up having is basically an audio file, okay? Now, I wouldn't say to actually bring your... I think I'm cutting out. Like, can everyone hear me? Like, can anybody else hear me? Like, put it in the chat box. That'd be cool. So I've got a couple of people saying.
So a couple of people say they can't, but
yeah, some people can't. Some people can. Well, most people can. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just GoToWebinar system. If and then now I can't find those people. I'll just answer them while you're going, and I'll tell them to.
Sure. So get that script written out. Get the audio recorded first, right? And then what you're going to do is, rather than bringing that audio into VideoMaker FX, because as Nick pointed out, VideoMaker FX is not a video editor, so you don't have a timeline. You're very, very restricted in what you can actually do with the audio in VMFX. So instead of bringing that audio file into VideoMaker FX, what I actually suggest you do is open up the audio file in Windows Media Player or QuickTime or whatever kind of MP3 player type software you have on your PC or your Mac. Open the voiceover up, and then just listen to your audio as you're creating your video. Because what that's going to do is you're going to be able to hear how much stuff you're saying and when you're saying. Okay, it sounds kind of funny, but like think about what I'm saying there. You're going to hear how much you're saying and when you're saying it. So in the first 10 seconds, you might say something like, "Hi there, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can make X amount of money in X amount of days." Now, that might be about 6 seconds long. So now I know I can just listen to it in my voice. I can look at Windows Media Player and see how many seconds it takes for me to say that section. Then all I've got to do is go into VideoMaker FX, create my first slide, and I set the timer to 6 seconds. So I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to do the delay thing, but Nick, if you want to demonstrate it, it's pretty simple. It's just on the right-hand side, it's a slide delay.
Yeah, right here, so people are asking how I got this all green. I just used the shapes background and I made it green because I actually am using this for a transparent video that I made for my video player for Simple Video Pro. But yeah, I just changed the background color here. So, and this was pre-saved. That's why it happened instantaneously because I've already built this program. Now you wanted me to go to delay slide, right? So like this would be a good example of a slide that might take me to delay.
Yeah, so it's like,
right here.
Obviously, we wouldn't have created this slide straight away. We're going to have the voiceover. So my voiceover would go, "Hey, I'm going to teach you how to get viewer attention fast," and then kind of read them through and whatever. And then I'd want to see on Media Player how long that's actually taking me to kind of deliver that message comfortably. So that's what we want to go ahead and set our slide delay to. Now, obviously, when you're doing this, you don't have to be 100% accurate, okay? Because I know a lot of people probably think, "Oh, it's going to be like absolutely 100% spot on," but it actually doesn't. All you're trying to do is you're trying to get it as close as possible to your voice sync. Because what I'm going to say now is, once you've created all your slides, once you've put all the slide delay in the best of your ability that you can, don't bring your voice into VideoMaker FX at all. Okay, just don't do it. Like, you don't need to do it. In fact, you shouldn't even bring your music into VideoMaker FX. All right, I'm going to explain why in a moment. Now, like Nick said, VideoMaker FX isn't a video editor. So what you want to do is you actually want to use a tool like Camtasia, which is a video editor. So what VideoMaker is going to do is this is basically going to go ahead and spit out an MP4 file for us. And then we're going to take that MP4 file and drop it into Camtasia. So Nick, I don't know if you've got like one prepared. Okay, you've got one prepared. So Nick's already got one prepared where he's kind of ripped this video that he just had and he's dragged it into Camtasia. Now what we would do is we would go and get the voice recording that we created and we would basically drop it underneath the video. So have you got a... Okay, yes, he's got a voice recording as well.
Now, on this one, though, I did do the audio in the video with VideoMaker FX.
Okay.
Music. But we can show them how to separate that video.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, if you're in Camtasia will basically bring in an audio file and a video file. You can just delete the audio section of it. I'm not sure if you've got it there. It should be underneath the video, but...
Yeah, what I can do is do this. Right-click on the track, and then we can separate audio and video. I know you know this, Joe. I'm doing it for the benefit of the people out there. And we could eliminate it, or since I only have voice here, we can keep it in this case.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, normally, traditionally, what I've been doing with VideoMaker is I basically just take the video out, and then I do all the audio stuff, music and the voice, I do it in Camtasia. And we're going to show you why now, okay? So basically, we remove the audio from the video, and then as we play the video through, and I'm not sure how you've done this, Nick, but I'll just explain it. I mean, if you
I can turn it up a little bit. So, like, first thing is let's get rid of this.
Yeah, it might be easy to pull up with the echo.
There you go. So now we have no music. So it's kind of
okay. So there's like
off.
There's like a big gap, and it seems like it's a little bit delayed, not in sync, right? Now the cool thing with Camtasia is we can move this around now. Like, we're not limited to kind of having to do delays and that kind of thing. We set the delay as best as we could inside of VideoMaker FX. All we got to do now is Nick just has to basically zoom into the audio file and position it by literally just dragging it left and right into the position where he feels that it's in the right synchronicity, basically. So if there's any kind of long delays, like there's a really big gap in the middle of this video now, all we got to do is simply just cut that section out. Like, we can literally just rip that section out,
Right.
bring the other two parts together.
Like from here.
Yeah, so when the animation stops, basically, and we're good to go.
Lock your
This
track.
out.
Lock the other track.
Oh no, I want to delete them both.
Okay.
Right, so what we're doing is we're actually cutting this. Now, there's a couple of people that are asking, what is vmfx for? It's to create all this animation that we're using, all this wonderful animation that has all of the effects and the words spinning around and all that stuff. You can do it in seconds rather than hours, right? But now we need to edit it. And for those of you who are concerned about, gee, I don't have Camtasia. Camtasia is expensive. Don't worry, we're going to have you covered. We have bundled packages that are coming up. We'll be talking about that in a little bit for you. So hang on just a second. So yeah,
so I think a couple of people are saying, like,
stuff.
will they have to buy this to use VideoMaker? No, you can use VideoMaker out of the box absolutely the way it is. All it is that there's just a couple of limitations that people are finding it difficult to work around. And me, like, the way I do my videos is I like to use a video editor like Camtasia because you have a timeline feature. And the timeline feature basically allows you to be a lot more flexible with what you're doing. So you don't have to worry about things being out of time, things being out of sync, and then music finishing too early or too late and that kind of thing. You just have, essentially what it does is it gives you a lot more control over what's happening in the video. And I'm sure Pete is working on ways in which you can improve that, and in which he's going to be improving the software and giving that flexibility there. Of course, I know he's been working really hard on improving the thing. And but right now, like, what we're doing is we're basically looking at workarounds and ways we can kind of make the most out of VideoMaker FX, not replace it, but really take it to the next level. And that's what we're trying to do here and show you here.
Here's a question that's actually pretty relevant to what we're talking about at this moment, because you were talking about using the sound files, music files separately. And Peter, maybe you could answer this. Peter, are you still in the house?
Yes, I think I'm here.
There's a couple people concerned. We had been very clear on using the audio files that come with vmfx for vmfx produced projects. And a couple of people are asking if I take the video into here, right? This is a video that's created with vmfx. Can I bring the audio in from the music folder of vmfx separately into here, and then edit it, using Camtasia or some other editor like Movie Maker? It's still a vmfx project, right?
Yes, that's right. As long as it's used with VideoMaker FX, like the video, like you shouldn't use it with other clips that are not made with VideoMaker FX.
All right, so that's covered. Okay, so Tom, that answers your question there. I just thought it was pertinent to answer right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Joey.
That's fine, man. So yeah, I mean, what we're basically doing here right now is essentially we're moving the audio around, so it's going to be a lot more in sync. So what Nick's doing is basically taking the voice track, moving it left and right, so that's coming in at the right time, syncing along with the video. Because what a lot of people are finding is that sometimes their voice is coming in too early, or sometimes the voice is coming in a bit too late. So what Camtasia is going to do is allow you to actually overcome that obstacle completely, because you've got a lot more flexibility in what you do with the software. And really, it's really, really simple. It's not complicated. You're literally just highlighting the bit you want to kind of move. You cut it out with the literally just press S and cut, and you cut it out, and then you just click and drag, and you move it to the left and the right, and that's it. And it's just a lot cleaner, and you'll end up with basically with a lot better synced up video, and you don't have to worry about things not syncing up in the end. And then the best part about using Camtasia, in my opinion, is the music, because one of the slight limitations we've got right now with VideoMaker is that when we put the music in, okay, hold on a second. So, all right, let me repeat what I'm saying with the video. I might be going too fast. So let me try and break it down a little bit. So basically, so that was from Ashley Bells. Let me try and answer that, Ashley. So basically, you're going to use VideoMaker FX to do your video as normal. Okay, you're going to do all the animation stuff, create all the slides, everything. But the only thing you're going to be doing differently is instead of putting your voiceover and the music in from VideoMaker, you're going to get those files and you're going to bring them into Camtasia instead. And it's really, really easy to bring in a file into Camtasia. I mean, Nick, you can demonstrate it. It's You literally just click the import media button at the top, and you would essentially just browse for the file. So I think Nick's going to yeah.
There's actually an even easier way. You can actually just drag, let's say I want to bring this image in and use it somewhere. You can just drag things right from your Explorer into the clip bin. This is the clip bin right here. So I mean, what you're getting is a little mini Camtasia course, but other software works in similar fashions. Any software that has timelines that you can manipulate the audio track, and I wanted to point this out. See where the lines start there? Where that looks like mountains? That's where the audio, where I'm speaking when I press play. And then a gap, right? And so what Joey's saying is we can cut this stuff out by selecting it, and this is funny, I just learned this. There's this little split icon here, and I always take my mouse and I go up there and I gotta click it. Joey just told me, just hit S. And all you do is hit S and it splits it. Now we can delete parts and then move stuff around. We can even move stuff over. That's why we like if you're gonna get really professional about this, you can use an editor to do it. VideoMaker FX produces awesome videos with audio. However, if you want to have the flexibility, like Joey's saying, to time stuff and get your voice perfectly timed so that it sounds natural like I'm talking right now, instead of having to pause for each slide, right? What were you saying, Joe? You were telling me about how many, like, I always put all of the words that I'm speaking in my script in the video, and you were saying that that's actually a better way to do that is what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know people basically what they do, one of the mistakes that a lot of people do is they try and put all the words that they're saying into a video. So literally like word by word, or pretty much 90% of the words. And actually, like, studies have shown that that actually distracts someone from concentrating on the video. The whole point of using video is not just to have someone look at the video, but to absorb the audio and the imagery at the same time. So rather than putting all the text on screen at once, all you need to really do is use like a sentence or a bullet point. So, you know, we've got like here, for example, we've got get ready, you're going to love this, here's what you're going to learn. So instead of writing all of that, you could literally just write, here's what you're going to learn. And you could say, hey, get ready, you're going to absolutely love this, and here's exactly what you're going to be learning. You could say it like that, and on screen it could just say, here's what you'll learn. Now that's going to be a lot easier for somebody to digest because they're going to hear your voice. There's not too much happening on the screen. There's like simple text, nice cool animation going on, and it's a lot easier to digest for the viewer. So what I found in all my work that I've done with local clients is we try to actually keep text to a minimum, and we try to use more imagery. So the graphics and stuff that Peter's created here are really, really cool for that because we can use the animations and that kind of stuff, but keep the text minimal and let your voice do the work, basically. Voice and the music combined will deliver the message. So that's what I'm saying.
Man, I'm glad you're here today, Joey.
Exactly.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem, man. So we had another thing that somebody was asking was, like, you know how in the sales video for VideoMaker FX we had like Todd Gross at the start of the video and then we moved into the animation. Absolutely, Camtasia is going to allow you to do that. This is actually how I personally am going to be using VideoMaker. I mean, I predominantly make direct-to-camera videos, so I'm most of the time on camera. But what I can do with Camtasia is I can actually blend my live videos with the VideoMaker FX stuff. So I'm using VideoMaker FX to actually blend in with my live video when I want to emphasize certain points and talk about statistics, do the intros and the outros of my videos. So if you want to get really cool with this and like really blow your videos out of the park, you can literally mix VideoMaker FX with other types of videos, and all of a sudden you're going to get some really good results. I mean, I think Peter can probably back me up on this. I've never seen a product convert as good as VideoMaker FX. And if you remember the sales video, it was actually a mixture of Todd Gross being on screen, VideoMaker FX demonstration, and also Peter doing screen capture stuff, which all of that collectively you can do inside of Camtasia. So really, like, I think that's a perfect example of what can be done with this software and
Joey,
using all those different
just to
types of
add to
videos.
that, it was actually edited in Camtasia. So
well, there we go. Like that's pretty much like proven.
Well, no one tool does everything. That's what I found. Even like Photoshop, right? Photoshop $700 or whatever it is. Well, to do certain things with Photoshop, you also need Illustrator. You know, because no one program does it all. VideoMaker FX is awesome for generating these animations, these kinetic words and all this stuff spinning around and all that. It would take hours and hours and hours if you just used Camtasia. I've done it, and it never ever looks as good. It's hard to get that professional look to it when you are just using Camtasia and using the call-outs, you know, to put words in, because they just sit there. You know, to animate them, there's a lot of work to get them to animate properly.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried doing this like so many times. Like I've tried doing animation videos myself, and what I ended up having to do, like in the past, is I used to use VideoHive, and VideoHive it's a pretty cool way to do it. Like you basically just buy a template, and then you can outsource it and get someone to do it. It's cheap, but it does take a bit of time, and it's a bit hit and miss. And you know, that's how I used to do it. So like, VideoMaker is so cool because the quality is amazing. You can do it literally in minutes, and then I can bring it into Camtasia and I can manipulate it even more. I honestly think, like, you know, it's such a powerful tool, and combined with Camtasia, you can just do some incredible stuff.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Excellent. So yeah, this just gives you a lot of flexibility. We can. Someone was asking, how do I get it like more time? You know, for example, this bit here, I go on talking. If you look at these, we'll call them mountains. If you look at the audio file, the wave file here, the waveform, I go on talking all the way to 18 seconds, but this video ends, and there's a big gap here. Now, I could have used the delay, but I didn't in this case. And all we got to do, Joey, you were showing me some shortcuts on this.
Yeah, man, so all we have to do is if you bring the cursor back to the moment when the animation stops. So just explain this. Yeah, so just explain this to everyone. So what Nick's basically saying is that section, if you look at the actual waveform, so the waveform is, you see the little squiggly lines on the top bar, that's basically where Nick's been speaking about that particular slide, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the animation lasts the same amount of time as Nick's speaking about that slide. Because if he's not, then a new slide's going to pop up, and Nick's going to be still talking about the old slide. So what we need to do is we need to go to the end of this animation. So that's where you are now is absolutely fine, Nick.
Okay.
Just that's fine. So what you want to do now is just hit S 1 second.
Split.
And then bring your cursor back literally like 1 frame, or like just a couple of frames.
There we go.
Yeah, that should be fine. If you zoom in a little bit with the zoom button on the left, so we can just see it close. Yeah,
1 frame back.
That's it. So yeah, if you now highlight the left selection that you've got, like of the video, and just hit S again when you've highlighted it. Now, what you can do is basically click that little middle section, right-click it. Actually, you know what? You don't even have to right-click it. You can literally just press E, just to make it simpler. Okay.
Boink.
So now, what's actually happened is Camtasia has basically extended that very tiny little section that we had for a much longer period of time. So what you can even do now, Nick, is that middle section that Camtasia has created, you can basically select that like by itself, and you can actually extend the whole video. Now, let me tell you the easiest way to do this, Nick, because it might get a little bit messy. So that clip you got on the right-hand side, obviously you don't need that right now. So what you want to do is you want to click that and drag it to the right. Let's just move it out of the way. So let's just deal with this part first. And then the last section, like that really tiny bit at the end, you can probably get rid of that as well. That is an independent section.
No, I already deleted that one.
Okay, yeah, so then you just want to extend it, basically.
Is that? Am I doing it right? No. Oh, so I need to split this here, huh?
It looks like it's already split. Like, I'm not sure.
It's got the stitch, so I'm going to split it.
Okay.
All right.
So you should be able to take this now and just basically extend that section out.
I did something wrong. Let's do this again.
Okay. If you just do, you can keep that section there. That's cool. What we'll do is just basically split into the section. Yeah. So when you did the extend thing, didn't that pop up?
Yeah. Here it is.
Okay.
There we are.
Yeah. Well, yours is doing something a little bit different there. This is what you were saying on Skype, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because normally what
There's
would
more than
happen.
one way to. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could do it a completely different way as well. I mean, you don't have to do it that way, man. What
Yeah,
you can do, in place of that, Nick, if you want to do it a different way, you can literally just copy that section that you've just created, and you can literally just copy and paste it across, and then you can keep copying and pasting it up until the point where you stop talking.
Right, right. I must have hit a wrong key. Here's another way that I do it too, and this I'm good with the old way. I just have to get used to the way that you do it. But I just drag this and I look and I see that duration is basically 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I go in here and I'm going to extend this frame 2.5 seconds. Go back one. And then I tell it to. And now we have it all the way to here.
Yeah,
so that's the way I do it. I've got to learn the way that you're doing it because it's a lot easier just to drag that thing. But for some reason I just can't. I'm missing something, but there's another way to do it. So there's more than one way to extend this thing.
Yeah, but basically, like for everyone, like just to make it really simple, all we're basically doing is we're taking the one section of the animation where everything is finished. So as soon as the animation is finished, all you're basically looking to do is capture a small bit of it and just copy it over to the end of that audio section. So what we're essentially being able to do is cover up all of that audio part where Nick's speaking about this specific slide so that the audio is all in sync with the video. It looks a little bit complicated, but honestly, it takes like 2 seconds. We're just trying to do it a little bit slower.
Unless you're typing with boxing gloves like I am, apparently.
Honestly, it takes like 1 second to do it. Like once you play with it, and I'm sure like we can maybe send out like a video like showing people how to do it or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we did is now it's timed, so that at the end of where I'm speaking here.
In the main video, you learn how to get your attention fast using walk-on assistants. Everything you need to know to make them and play them.
Now we have this big pause again, but we can get rid of that pause too, just the way that you showed us.
Yeah, I mean you can keep that pause because right now the pause seems unnatural, but when we add the music in, it will be fine. Like it will flow a lot better with the music. And I think we should talk about that as well. Like, so another problem that a lot of people are having is when they do the music inside a video maker, what's happening is because of the length of the tracks, let's just say you make a video and you're talking for 4 minutes, but the track you want is 2.5 minutes. Then all of a sudden you've got a problem because the audio track is finishing too soon in Video Maker. Okay?
Right,
now,
and that's actually what's happening here.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this is a really cool example. So if you can see that the audio is obviously ended pretty soon. So what you would want to do, there's 2 different ways you can do this. Okay? You can simply create a loop, which is essentially all a loop is you're basically just repeating the music. Okay? And what we would do is we can manually do that inside of Camtasia simply by just copying and pasting the audio of the music. So what that's going to do is allow us to extend the music naturally without it kind of just randomly cutting off like it does when you render out in Video Maker right now in the current version. So that's another benefit of actually using Camtasia. Now, what Nick's doing there, he's just doing like a raw copy and paste, which isn't going to sound like super good. It's going to be a little bit jumpy, but yeah, if you take a bit like maybe like a couple of minutes on it, you can get a pretty clean loop. I'm not going to go into like how to loop it correctly and stuff because that's going to probably take like too long. But a recommendation that I would give is if you want to try and get the audio like completely right like if you want to do like a clean loop, you can always use a tool called Audacity, which is a completely free tool that you can use. You can download it from, Nick's got it up there, audacity.sourceforge.net. You can download Audacity for the Windows systems or the Mac systems, and you can basically manipulate the soundtrack however long it's supposed to be inside of Audacity. Now, the way I normally do this is I basically get the track that Peter's got in VideoMaker, put it into Audacity, and then I loop it like extendedly. All right, so let's just say my video is 4 minutes long. I'm going to go and loop the track in Audacity for like 5 minutes. All right, and the reason that I do that is because if I bring the track that's 5 minutes into Camtasia, all I have to do then is just fade the audio out when the video is finished. So there's not really much work for us. Just literally put it in Audacity, loop it, and then bring it into Camtasia and just fade it out. And that way, your music's going to be looped. It's going to last for the correct amount of time when you're actually doing the video, and it's going to end cleanly. So that's probably like the best thing for me is like the amount of control that you've got in Camtasia. I know it's a little bit more advanced, but really it's going to be like another 10 minutes of work, like just to clean up the video. If you're doing it for the first time, it might take like half an hour, but really it does make the video that much more better, and it gives you more flexibility when you're creating the video in VideoMaker. Because what we don't want is for you to go into VideoMaker and limit yourself creatively or limit yourself to the amount of slides you want to do just because you're trying to match up with the song. Because that's not going to be right? Like if you're trying to make the slides to a 2-minute soundtrack, then really you're limiting the amount of content you can have in your video just based on that track. So if you use Camtasia, you can create any kind of video you want in VideoMaker, make it as long as you want or as short as you want, and you don't have to worry about the delay and stuff because you can just come in Camtasia and you can fix it. So that's really the big benefits of it.
Right. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, man. One thing I want to show, because I did what Joey said not to do. Okay. In this case, because we're trying to get this audio to match, and it ended up making the video a little bit longer than the song that was output by vmfx. So all I'm going to do right now is I just wanted to show you guys, because Peter said that it's perfectly within the licensing. We can just delete this. I'm just going to select it, click my delete button on my keyboard, and then I'm going to go over to the music folder where VideoMaker FX has this music, and just drag this song, which is Get It Started. That's what I used. And then it comes into the clipboard here, right here, and we're going to just drag this down here. Now I have this giant song, and I can just cut right here, just either click S or click this icon, delete the rest, and now what Joey was saying was to fade it, go to the audio tab, and then click fade out, and that'll now fade out rather nicely after I'm done speaking and sound something like this instead of just ending abruptly. Of course, then I'd want to adjust the volume way down so that I can hear myself. Yes. Is that the best way to do the volume? Is just do the volume down for the whole thing? Or
yeah, you can do it that way. I mean, what you would really want to do is you want to basically have your voice track on the. You want to basically use the compression tool. I won't go into it too much, but if you have enable volume leveling, if you just click that on your voice track, not on the music track.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you just do it on the voice track and then do the drop down menu there on where it says medium. Yeah, then just hit it to custom.
Uh-oh.
Now what you want to do is you see the gain knob, third one, just bring that up.
High.
Up. That's it. Well, not that high, like you want to basically have it round up with, yeah, that's cool, just that's fine. And then basically the rule of thumb is, guys, like your music needs to basically be 25% volume of what your vocal track is. So you can see that Nick's like audio track now for his voice is pretty much right to the top. So your music needs to basically be 25% of that, so a quarter of the volume of the height of what you're seeing on the voice track.
So I was looking at these heights here.
Yeah, those are the heights we're working with. I mean, it's just a rough estimate. I mean, I try to stick it like 25%, and that normally works good for me. But you can just play it by ear, literally play it by ear and see what sounds good. But that normally works good for me.
It's pretty clear to me you got a lot of knowledge there, Joey. I've been messing with Camtasia for a couple of years now, since Camtasia 6, and like that little tidbit I didn't know about. And then I've never used the shortcut key codes, which I feel kind of silly about now that I know them. Just click S and E.
So we've got a question here from Robert, just asking how many tracks you can use. Robert, you can use as many as you want in Camtasia. There's not really any limit.
Yeah, each time you drag a new one, it just adds a new track to the list, and then you can scroll them here. So awesome. So that is Diana. The volume percentages is crank up your audio for your voice.
Yeah, it's just 1%. It's just one. Like Diana, you don't have to worry about what we've done with that kind of function in Camtasia. Like all you need to do is basically turn up the volume of your voice track so that it's loud. All right, like you want to basically get it to the top of the bar, like Nick's done there. And then with the actual song that you're using, the music, you basically just want to make sure that's 25% of the voice. So wherever your voice is, whether it's halfway or whether it's right at the top, you just want to make sure that the audio track, of the music, is just 25% volume of that. And that's what you need to remember.
Everything you need to know to make them and play them. Get ready to take notes while you learn.
We obviously have to adjust that image for that slide. But yeah, that's what this is all about. It's bucketing stuff to match and look very professional.
Yeah, so Steve's just asking for the Mac folks. You can do all of this, like literally all of this stuff, Steve, on ScreenFlow, which is like an alternative for the Mac. But you can get Camtasia on the Mac as well. So, I mean, I'd recommend Camtasia over ScreenFlow. You can do a lot more stuff. There's a lot more functionality, to be honest. But you know, there are other tools as well. But Camtasia is my go-to tool for this kind of thing.
Yeah, let me jump in just quickly here, guys. This is something we're going to be bringing up later, and there's a lot of you that actually, we did a poll a little while ago that was in regards to us being able to bring you guys Camtasia, and that has been completed, and we've got hundreds of people who are stepping up. But for all of you who are asking in the last 10 minutes, you got a lot of questions about, you know, do we have an offer for Camtasia, etc. Not today, we don't. But what we do have today is an announcement to make about what we are going to be doing with TechSmith, and that'll be coming up right soon here. So just hold your questions about that. You will be very happy to know we went to bat for all you guys, and we'll bring that up here in just a little bit. But carry on, guys.
Cool, man. Yeah,
go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, man. I mean, those are the big things like that I would say, you know, with the delay thing, and with generally with the music, and just having a lot more flexibility with what you're doing with the software, with VideoMaker. Just by adding Camtasia into the mix, you're just going to end up having a lot more control, man. And you won't be limited to the amount of, like, you know, length of the video or worried about the delay feature and that kind of thing, because you can kind of overcome all of those little obstacles by using Camtasia. There's obviously other things you can do in Camtasia, which we won't go into now, but you know, you can do like some cool screen stuff that just enhances what you're doing with VideoMaker. You know, you can do some advanced things. And obviously, one of the big things for me is Camtasia is a screen capture tool. So I can basically blend my footage with a lot of screen capture stuff as well. And you know, screen capture in itself is its own kind of animation. You know, it's like you can do a lot of very cool screen capture stuff. Like you can tilt the screen, you know, you can do some cool pans and zooms and that kind of thing. Like you can almost animate your PC screen. So when you mix that with something like VideoMaker, you're potentially on the verge of like creating videos that people once upon a time used to pay $10,000, $50,000 for. I know people in the After Effects industry who are, you know, professional animators who use After Effects, which is basically like the high-end animation tool. And you know, when they create videos like the ones that the software allows you to do, they're charging clients like $20,000. And to me, that's like crazy, man. Like, and if you combine it with the stuff that you can do with Camtasia, like you could really like blow videos out of the water, man. Like you can do some stuff outside the box, really start experimenting, bring in live videos. You know, there's a lot of different elements to it that you can start kind of pulling together. And you know, people are selling, like, I know there's a lot of people selling video maker videos like at a really good price right now. But just by like starting to utilize what Camtasia can do, I guarantee you can probably make more money just because of the stuff that you can do there. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, the quality is, and I'll add to that. Like, I mean, I don't know how many people in the room have seen the transparent overlays that Nick's doing using vmfx and Simple Video Pro, but you know, just little tricks like that, and then as Joey said, you know, combining real you know, moving picture style video with, you know, other over-the-shoulder screen caps and you know, vmfx kinetic typography, and bringing it all together into one video. That's what will set you guys apart from all the guys on Fiverr and YouTube who are just, you know, cranking out 50 videos in an afternoon and trying to, you know, pawn them off on the market at 50 to 200 bucks a piece. There's going to be a lot of that going on, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you could make money doing that, all the power to you. But if you really want to get your client's attention, and if you want to distinguish yourself from the slew of that kind of production, you know, start to open up your mind and get good at using some of these other tools, and very quickly you can produce very high quality, very professional looking stuff. Especially, you know, when you talk to a guy like Joey, who's in the business, who is telling you that. Take notice of this kind of advice, guys, and put it to work, because it really is not that hard. It just takes a little bit of elbow grease.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Whew. Wow, man, thank you. That was like a crash course in video audio syncing.
That's cool, man. There's obviously a lot of stuff, and I know there's a couple of people that are like a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, you know, think of it this way, guys and gals. If you're overwhelmed at the moment because of what you've just seen, that's okay. We've got a lot more of these coming. We're here with you throughout these training webinars, and there'll be lots of opportunity to learn. And just think of this as getting a 10,000-foot view. You get an idea of the layout of the lay of the land, and then as you get closer to doing it, and as you start practicing, then you start getting better at it. What I would say is this: don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid to get in there and just try. It might be frustrating at times, but just give it a shot. Nothing's going to happen to your computer. Your computer won't explode. Okay, your house is not going to catch on fire. You're just going to have a video that you're trying with. Okay? Just save a copy of the original, and then give it a shot. That's how I learned. I don't have the professional experience that Joey has, but I put together pretty good videos using Camtasia, and now, thank God for VideoMaker FX, those kinetic word videos, man. I'm going to be using them a lot. But yeah, you need all the tools in your arsenal to get truly professional videos. And as you grow your business, you're going to want to be able to meet that demand, because you're going to run across people that say, hey, can you put our custom jingle into this video that you made with the kinetic word, the animated words, and can you get it to be timed with this specific word? As it comes on the screen, we want our drum cymbal to hit. Well, yeah, you can, because now you've got the tools, right? So that's the kind of thing you have to be ready for. You don't want to have to say, well, no, I can only do these songs and this. You don't want to do that. That's right. Why we're showing you these tools. Okay.
Do you know what? Like, I think Nick brings up a really good point, and I think Ain kind of like mentioned this as well, because you got to understand as well that a lot of people bought VideoMaker FX, like thousands and thousands and thousands of people, right? And so it's like everyone that's like watching this right now, if you just use these techniques, like you'll literally be standing out from everyone else that's doing these videos, like because you'll have the ability to make it a lot more bespoke, if that makes sense, and a lot more unique. You'll be able to do things that everybody else isn't doing outside of kind of having this kind of information. So I think like people should really try and like just mess around with it, give it a go. You can always get Camtasia like just have a little go with it as well, you know, like on their site and stuff. So it's worth just giving it a go.
Yeah, and that, just to emphasize that, when we first started doing the basic training, we had a lot of people saying, wait a minute, there's 20,000 people using VideoMaker FX, isn't that going to dilute the market? And it's a common question, it's a good question, it's one that's usually founded in a little bit of a lack of understanding of the market, but I've heard that same question with many different very popular products. The simple answer is no, there are 7 billion people on the planet. But yeah, at first, you're going to see on YouTube, especially now, you go on YouTube, and there are just literally tons of VMFX type videos out there. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of stiff competition, but there's a lot of these people just slapping this stuff together, and they're not using extended tools to make their products stand out from the rest of the bunch. And as Joey has been very clear about, you can really turn on and use a lot of features that are just not available, in one single tool. And with video editing, one thing Nick's taught me over the last couple of years is that there is no one tool. There never will be any one tool that does it all. And in order to stay competitive, and in order to be able to actually create product that sells and converts, you need to open up your toolbox a little bit and get your hands on what your clients are wanting to see produced. And generally, that involves, having a little bit of flexibility. So not just in your toolbox, but in your training. You guys gotta, you gotta be able to spend some time learning how to do all this stuff. And that's why, if you're getting impatient, because we're being a bit of a windbag up here with some of these lessons, you're just gonna have to learn to take it in small pieces as you can take it, guys. Because we got a lot to teach you over the next several weeks. And some days, not all of us are going to be here. So take advantage of it, and be a sponge and soak it up as fast as you can. Anyways, we are almost 2.5 hours in here. Where are we on the itinerary here, Nick? Nick? See, this is weird, eh? Because I can hear Joey.
I'm over here talking away, talking away, and my microphone's muted.
Right.
Oh boy. All right. So you guys can hear me now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good. Sorry, I was answering you. No, I was saying we're just about to wrap it up here. Actually, I just wanted to share this. These were coming through for you, Joey. Wonderful information, Joey. This is absolutely fantastic. And I talked about the whole webinar, of course, but specifically to you there from Diana. And yeah, Scott, practice makes perfect. Absolutely. That's the only way that you get better at things, right? You don't just roll out of bed one morning and become an expert at making videos or editing them. These tools make it a lot easier, okay? Especially VMFX makes creating this stuff a lot easier, because bringing this stuff into Camtasia and timing the audio is a piece of cake compared to creating these things from scratch in something like Camtasia. Believe me, VMFX is going to save you a ton of time, and I can't wait to show you guys some of the more advanced stuff that we're doing with it. We're going to be going into a little bit of that tomorrow, and in our webinar tomorrow, which I don't know, we already gave a link to that, right?
Actually, yeah, we did, but you need to stress the point that people need to show up to this webinar tomorrow. And also, thank you, John, by the way. I'm going to point out John's comment here. He says, this is the first item he's ever bought that has given weeks of excellent training. I was expecting yet another hyped-up push to get even more cash from me, and I still know not what to do. So thank you very, very much. Well, John, I mean, thanks for the thanks. Feel free to throw money at us, but the reality here is we're here for you guys' success, okay? Because I've said it already more than once today. If we can sell you all the products till the cows come home, the bottom line is we don't know what to do with them. And if nobody teaches you how to implement these tools, then 7 out of 10 of you that buy this stuff will never use it. Understand, that's the industry-wide statistic. And it's even worse in these technical tools because it scares people, right? So we're here to help you guys out. Any help, get a hold of us. If you got a problem, just get a hold of us, and we'll be happy to help you guys out. Now, we are having another one of these on Thursday, which is a different course entirely. So for all you guys asking, when's this webinar?
I just posted it.
Yeah. make sure you guys register for this tomorrow. If you are on this list today, you will also get notified of all of the future episodes for the VMFX related webinar series, as well as, get onto the Simple Video Pro webinar circuit too, because you're going to learn incredible stuff there as well. We're pouring the heat on, guys. We want to teach you guys everything we know, and if we can possibly spend enough time to get that done, it'll be worth your while. You just can't get this kind of training anywhere. It does not exist. I think everybody on the call would pretty much agree with that. But yeah, the link's in the box, tinyurl.com/svpadvance. Make sure you register for that, and keep an eye on your email box, because as I mentioned earlier, Nick, do you want to give the announcement? There's a lot of people been waiting to hear what's going on with Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a real quick preview, and then we'll do that. We're next week. Just want to let you know what's coming next. We're going to talk about creating a loss leader video, posting it, and how to monetize it for yourself and for your clients. So that was just real brief there. Want to make sure that you're aware of what's coming in the next advanced training. Okay, this is not what we're covering tomorrow. Tomorrow is keeping visitors glued to your website or to your videos. So we just negotiated a contract with Camtasia, with TechSmith. And a lot of people have been waiting for this. We've been working really hard on it, especially AIM. I think you've been working on it, like 3 months now?
Yep.
Yeah. So AIM's been working hard for you guys in the background. About 3 months worth of work to get this thing finalized. It is finalized. It is fully executed, autographed by all the appropriate parties, and we are in the system. We are there. We are ready for you. We have to put together the system to deliver it to you, okay? But it is a bundle with Simple Video Pro, the Plus package. And the way it will work is when you get the bundle, it will come with Simple Video Pro, the scheduling module, and the transparent video overlay module, and Camtasia, full-blown Camtasia 8 Studio for a very, very attractive price. Let me just put it that way. I'm not at liberty to say the exact price at the moment. Am I, AIM?
No. In fact, it's part of our contract that we're not allowed to actually advertise this in the public as a standalone purchase, but we will be making the bundle available. And also, just so you guys know, a lot of you in the room are vmfx clients. You might not be Simple Video Pro clients. You might not be a client of Joey's yet. We're all talking, and we're all amongst ourselves about how we can make this bundle available to all of you guys, whether you're a client of ours or not, okay? So, just give us another couple of days. We're just now doing the licensing for putting Camtasia into the bundle. It'll take another few days to finish up, and then there'll be some emails going out, and of course some further announcements on the further webinars. But if you don't have Simple Video Pro, or if you don't have Camtasia, you're going to be happy. Now, if you already do, don't worry. We have a solution for you.
Yeah.
So if you already own, vmfx or Simple Video Pro or whatever, do not panic, do not worry, do not refund. We got a way to get all you guys what you need, if you need all of the above.
Exactly. So I mean, if you want to get started as soon as possible, in one of the previous webinars, there's a lot of you who purchased Simple Video Pro. Don't worry, because we are giving you a credit back for your purchase when we upgrade you. There will be an upgrade for you to get the Simple Video Pro Marketing Suite, is what we're calling it. It's the Video Marketing Suite. It gives you everything that you need. So don't be shy, and don't worry, and don't delay if you don't have to. But I just put the link to Simple Video Pro in the chat box, and when the upgrades are ready, it'll be an easy process to upgrade. You'll just basically get the rest of the marketing suite.
Yeah, and let me just finish by saying this, guys. I've spent 3 months and a lot of money on these negotiations, a lot of time and a lot of money. and this was not an easy deal to put together. We worked directly with TechSmith on this, and very happy to say that, you know, after all the negotiations, things have swung in your guys' favor big time. You're going to, yeah, your jaw is going to hit the floor when you see what we've done for you. Okay? It's an opportunity to get your hands on a lot of tools at a very low price that still maintains the integrity of all of the tools and gives you all of the support and everything that you're normally accustomed to getting from all of these companies, including us. And so it'll give you the opportunity to be able to take action and put these tools to work for your business without having to feel the sting of, you know, full-on retail. Also, guys, a lot of people don't realize this. Like, the pricing on Simple Video Pro right now has never been lower, except for 2 years ago, and it is not going down. Okay, June 1st, it is going up. So be advised, you get a little bit of a heads up there. But again, if you're already into vmfx or SVP or whatever, do not be concerned. We just need to have another little chat with Peter and figure out what we're going to do for everybody, and then we're sure to make all of you happy. If you need the tools. If you don't, then no worries. Carry on. Business as usual. Enough of that.
Righto. Excellent. Well, you guys have been great. Let's go ahead and see if there's any questions that we want to answer, and then we will call it a day. I don't know if I see someone being flagged here by our staff in the background.
And I'm not sure how much time everybody's got. Peter, you still here?
Yes, sir.
I see a lot of these questions have been answered, actually. How about this? Why don't we do this? Might be risky. Here, Ian.
I should say that, you know, as everybody knows, in the past couple of weeks, we've been doing a lot of, you know, triage support for Pete and, you know, vmfx. And guys, really appreciate the support you've put out there, but be advised that Pete's now got a pretty strong team in place, and in fact, they're doing an awesome job of getting caught up and managing the flow. It's not a perfect scenario yet, but it's definitely improved a lot in the last week. But if you have any kind of support issues, please try not to send them to us at Simple Video Pro any longer. I mean, we don't mind forwarding them along, and we will continue to offer what we can. But now that he's got a team, he's got a very large team, by the way, you know, you guys really need to get in there first. It'll help you quicker. And I know that Pete is putting together update after update. I think they're working on the third one or fourth one now. Pete, is it the fourth one? The third one.
Officially the second one.
Oh, okay. So I know they're working hard at you know, improving the product as well as you know, dealing with any issues. So have a little bit of patience if you're waiting for any kind of support issues. But yeah, you're better off to get that directly to them, unless of course it's an SVP support issue, then get it to us. I just want to make it clear to everybody so that going forward we're not mixing up and causing you further delay by waiting for us to come back to you on a vmfx issue. Other than that, you want to start off with some questions?
Yeah, Ian was asking, would it be easier to just extend the slide in vmfx and just delete sections when necessary? Ian, yeah, that is a bit easier. I didn't do it in the sample that I gave, but that's what the first thing that Joey said was to use the slide delay in VideoMaker FX, which is here. So he was suggesting doing your audio first, speaking naturally through your script, and then figuring out how much time for each slide, and then basically if this slide is 12 seconds and you need 14 seconds, we would just add 2 seconds to the slide delay to make that slide a little bit longer. If you are fortunate enough to be able to do that for every slide and you don't need any to be shorter, for example, or you don't need to cut out any of the transitions, then you're good to go, right? But still, to use something like Camtasia or one of the free apps available for Windows or Macintosh, to add that audio in later where you have the timelines and you can adjust it back and forth is really important to be able to do. If you can't, you can get by, okay? You can get by with vmfx by itself. A lot of people are. We have a ton of people in previous webinars that are already selling videos. They were selling videos on like day 2 and 3 after they bought vmfx, okay? So you don't absolutely need Camtasia or any other editor, but if you want to start taking it more seriously, getting more professional, commanding a higher dollar for your videos, and combining and blending different types of videos together, like live action interviews and different music tracks, looping tracks, adding a second music track maybe, maybe having segues into different moods, then you're going to need an editor, okay? And Camtasia just happens to be one of the better ones out there and has multiple purposes, including the screen capture or screencasting. So that's what I would say to that. Let's see, someone was asking how to do the fade. Jonita was asking how to do the fading of sound. You can do that both in Camtasia and in vmfx. And in vmfx, just go to audio settings, and you can have it adjust this right here, fade in and fade out. That way the end of your video won't be like you hit a brick wall as you put it in your comment, okay? You can also do it in Camtasia, and you just do it right. Did I close it? No, I didn't. And you just do it right here. You select the audio track, and then you click the fade in or fade out. That faded it in, and now we can also fade it out. And you see how the sound here goes down slowly from here to here. It goes to 0. So that's what it'll do for you in Camtasia. Okay, so 2 ways to do that. All right, let's see if I can find some more questions. There's just so many comments in here, sifting through them. I already have a few awesome videos. Okay, Christy. Christy said she has already created a few awesome videos and connected them to download into Facebook or onto the website. What am I doing wrong? Christy, VideoMaker FX was initially created to upload videos to YouTube, okay, and it works very, very well for that. As Peter learned, there's so many people using it now that there's a demand now to use it in other places, okay. I guess Facebook is one of them. I wasn't aware that it didn't upload straight there, but putting it on your website using a video player like Simple Video Pro, or maybe editing it in Camtasia, here's what I suggest, and this is what has been working very well for me for all the videos that I've created. I just go into Google and I type online video creator, or I'm not creator, I'm sorry, converter. Okay, type in online video converter, and this one, onlineconvert.com is what I use. Just select it, and then when you come here, you're going to select the drop-down list under Video Converter. And we're going to select MP4. Takes you to this screen automatically, and I'm going to go ahead and share this in the box, in the chat box for you guys, because this is all about getting you tools that you can use, right? So that's the path directly, or the link directly to online convert, to convert MP4s. Then you just click Choose Files, pick the video that you want to convert, open it, and now we can go down, skip all this stuff, don't worry about it, and just click Convert File. It'll automatically submit it to your post it to this website, not post it, sorry, upload it, convert it, and then it'll automatically download it. And you'll see that in a minute if I hang out for a second. Automatically the download will start. Now you can take that file, that converted file, and use it in Camtasia. I use it in Adobe After Effects, Adobe Premiere. So it's downloading over here on the left side, on the bottom. You can upload it to Facebook, I would imagine, because it's more compatible with more different programs now. Okay, and I know that Peter's working on improving the codec that creates the videos so that it'll work on more devices right out of the box. But that's the solution for that for you, Christy. Hope that helps you. All right, let's move on. If you see any AIN, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long list.
There are a few of these that have been answered already, though.
Yeah, we have staff in the background that are answering a bunch, actually. Thank you, guys. Would you do it? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll actually answer this in text.
It says, would you do a trick with that green screen? That was Pablo. I'm not sure what you meant there. It looks like actually he just left. So, would you do a trick?